in the United States of America, neo-Nazis are marching and the president says they're good people on both sides? Whoa. What if whiteness is the Gentiles?
Yeah.
One of our big things we say at Transformation Church is this: we're not the party of the elephant, we're not the party of the donkey. You can vote for the elephant, you can vote for the donkey, but our allegiance is to the Lamb. I love being an American. I love America. Now, I want you to think about this. At the same time, Jesse Owens goes to Germany and he destroys the Aryan race. He's phenomenal. And he can't even go into the hotel in America through the front door in a celebration that's honoring him. Now, I know what's going to happen. Someone's going to say, well, Derwin, that's the past. Well, if that's the past, why do you get to only talk about the good things of the past and not the bad things? If we don't understand the power of the past, we will repeat it. And if you don't believe me, look at our culture. Sean, let me ask you this, and you can ask your dad too. Would you have ever thought that neo-Nazis would march in Virginia in I think it was 17 maybe, that neo-Nazis were marching in Virginia, in the United States of America? So imagine your grandfather who fought against the Nazis. What would he have said? Like, wait a second, in the United States of America, neo-Nazis are marching and the president says they're good people on both sides?
Are you putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane?
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this: you had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
On both sides, sir? You said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Neo-Nazis started this. They showed up in Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me, they didn't put themselves down as neo. And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now, we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
Treated unfairly, sir. I'm sorry. I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly? I just didn't understand what you were saying.
No. There were people in that rally, and I looked the night before. If you look, there were people protesting very quietly the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. I'm sure in that group there were some bad ones. The following day it looked like they had some rough, bad people, neo-Nazis, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. But you had a lot of people in that group that were there to innocently protest, and very legally protest, because, I don't know if you know, they had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit. So I only tell you this. There are two sides to a story. I thought what took place was a horrible moment for our country, a horrible moment.
And the president says they're good people on both sides? Whoa. Now, why were not white pulpits set ablaze with, "This is America, and neo-Nazis will not march, and we're going to pray, we're going to fast"? Where was that? And so for black Christians, it's like, so let me get this right. So neo-Nazis can march and not a peep, but if black people march, it's a problem.